Hello, welcome back to Brassic Classics. Today we're back on the Land Rover. As you saw in the last episode, engine's out, and now what I want to do is take a load of gunk or any other degreasing agent, there's plenty available, and degrease this Land Rover. I think this might not be enough. This is 1 litre, and that's a Land Rover. Could be interesting, this. Right, so what I'm planning to do is obviously gunk all the chassis rails, all the bulkhead, just so I can start with a, at least a slightly cleaner canvas before I start putting stuff back together. Stuff like this needs to be sorted out. The wiring is just, it's just nasty, There's lots of tape, and it's just, as you can see, steering box area is just absolutely caked. Everything's caked. Front diff, it's not great, is it? Don't need a new boot there. Yes, I think just a good place to start. Let's just get it clean. As we go around, I've actually got the tarpauling off. There was a lot of water in it, so I did create a small river earlier. I'm also going to do the same thing inside. Yeah, it's not too bad. These cross members don't look too bad at all, really. When I say it's caked, I mean stuff like this. But this is what you expect from a car from 1975 that's never really been restored. I think this is probably the first time it's been stripped to this point. I think some new upper floors are probably in order. A little bit there. Anyway, yeah. So this is today's job. See how clean we can get this Land Rover. I'm not going to be going particularly hard underneath, just because I haven't really got ramps. So I might try and get that rear diff a little bit cleaner. Usual array of random Land Rover bits of exhaust. There's my boots. I was looking for them earlier. Oh, there's a drive shaft. So yeah, I'm ready to go. I've got my boots, as you saw. And let's do it. Okay, right, I'm just having a look at these chassis rails. They do look like they've been under sealed at some point. There's definitely a covering on here, which is all flaking off quite nicely. Anyway, so I've got my degreaser and cup and an old paintbrush. I'm just going to cover everything I can see, really. They do a spray version of this, but it's a lot more money, and I figured I'm going to need quite a lot of this stuff. So I went for the brush on option. Also, I think you can really get into the nooks and crannies with a brush. Maybe you can't get into with a spray can all the time. It goes on really easily. I wonder if I'd be better off with a just throw it on by the bucket load. Yeah, this has definitely been under sealed at some point. What are your thoughts of under sealing? I'm in two minds about it. I've read so much stuff that people say, avoid under seal at all costs, especially if you're buying something, because it generally a lot of the time means they're hiding stuff, which is what I found with the Fiat 500. Had a lot of under seal on it, and it was just sealing rust. And I've read other people say that under seal does exactly that, seals in the rust. But what are your thoughts? I mean, I can see the point of doing it on a clean chassis. So anyway, as you can see, I'm just giving this a good covering. I've been looking at the steering here. I definitely think these bushes could do with replacing. There is surprisingly for a Land Rover, there's a certain amount of play in the steering. Strange. So I definitely think, yeah, all these ball joints could do with new rubbers. So that's probably something I'll do as well. As I said in a previous video, when you start these things, you're opening a box that could just be bottomless. Where do you stop? last week I was seriously, seriously thinking, do I put a galvanised chassis on this now? But at the moment I've got too many projects, and that's probably a job for maybe 10 years time. I mean, this chassis, as far as I'm aware, is not too bad. Once I've jet washed it off, I'll have a proper look at both chassis legs. They look alright from here. When I was underneath it, it's definitely had a few welds and plates put on the cross members, but I think that's pretty standard really. Anyway, so this is where we're at, and I'll come back in a minute when I've done most of the engine bay. Right, so I've just applied plenty of degreaser. As you can see, I've been pretty liberal with it. It's looking better already, to be honest. Unlike my engine mounts, this one's, as you can see, is pretty knackered. And that one, strange enough, looks alright. So, whether or not someone replaced just one engine mount at some point, I don't know. Anyway, back to it. Yeah, degreaser everywhere. So I've just done the engine bay. I've not done, every single inch of it. And I've used about half the can. So that shows you how much you're going to use. Right, now to get the boots on and jet wash this off and see what we're left with. Right, so I've just gunked the whole engine bay and all the chassis rails and anything else that looked remotely dirty. Now it's time to clean all this off, and hopefully it'll look a bit better afterwards. There we go. Okay, I'm going to keep going with that, and when I've managed to get some of it off, I'll come back and show the results. Okay, so I've just jet washed off the degreaser. Done a bad job, I guess. That still looks pretty oily. This is all looking a bit better though. I think I'm going to go for a round 2. Bulkhead looks better. Let's just have a look at that diff again. My trusted old towel. So that still looks pretty bad. How is this? Oh, okay. Yeah. So gunk can deal with a bit, but it probably can't deal with that. Oh, hello. Yes. So I think the towel option is not a bad option really. So I'm going to keep going with this. Just try and get this all a bit better. It might just need a scraper, Christ. Anyway, I'll come back when I've done round 2, we'll see if there's any improvement at all. Okay, so this is now the second clean. Now it's definitely got a coating of some sort of underseal on it. You can see patches there. I've got the front diff clean, which took some doing. CV is now good. Yeah, it's not clean, but it will be eventually. As you can see, chassis rails are pretty good. No real issues. Cross members good. There are a few interesting things I've noticed, which I'll show you now and see what you think. Now, has that been welded? Well, obviously it's been welded, but I mean, it looks like it's just the outriggers that have been replaced. So what do people think? Are these the original outriggers or have they been replaced? I'm not sure if that's a Land Rover weld. Would they have done it like that? That strap's not connected to anything. What other welds have we got? Well, pretty good on this side. So that outrigger may have been replaced as well, possibly. There's a little bit there at the top. So anyway, all you Land Rover experts, let me know what you think of that. Now bear in mind, this car says it only has 28,000, nearly 29,000. I've done quite a few miles. I'm going to put it out there. I'm starting to think maybe it's done 128 rather than 28. Let's look at this side of the chassis leg where it connects. Now that looks doesn't look great to me. But let me know your thoughts. You'll probably know more than I do. Again, that's definitely been welded. It's got a kind of a top plate that's been welded over. Going to need some new floors here. But all in all, not bad, we're clean. At least we're a bit cleaner now. That was my main objective today. So yeah, anyway. Next step is to get this, well, first step is to get this lot tidied up. Because I'd like to bring the Land Rover into this bay. So I've just quickly buffed up this little area here. I've gunked and degreased the whole engine, but just had time just to do this little bit here. I found the identification plate, which looks like it's been removed and stuck on maybe, but whatever, won't worry too much about that. Yeah, so I've just quickly degreased this area, but I'm going to go in for a second hit and yeah, put some more degreaser on it and then probably get a pressure washer on it. Just because I don't want to be working with this in a state like this. And bring this Land Rover in here. I think I'm going to set to. I've given this engine a little bit of a clean, just with a rag. I think I might put some gunk on it soon. Take this manifold off, and get ready to flip it over onto an engine stand. Anyway,